Shalom. Nathan Kal halalyam la Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Recha Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well and labor in the word and doctrine. Shalom, meaning peace. May that be into the elect of the nation of Israel. I'm here with Brother Azan, Banyamyon.
Shalom.
And we're going to go into this perverted teacher, in Pennsylvania school, and just give a 2 cents on it, filter it through the scriptures, and go from there. So the title is Pennsylvania School Approves English Teacher's Sexuality Curriculum Showing Kids Penis Pics and Ejaculation Video. And Salahi for the crude title, but that's literally what it was. Alright, so it says a Pennsylvania English teacher said he included close-up photographs of penises, vulvas, as well as a video of a woman ejaculating in an optional sexuality class. According to an interview, the school told Fox News Digital they were standing by him. It says Al Vernaccio is an English teacher at Friends Central School, a private school in Wynwood. He also is involved in the sexuality curriculum, which expands from children nursery through 12th grade, according to this website. In his work as a sexuality education coordinator, Vernaccio teaches classes, organizes sexuality-themed programs and assemblies, and is one of the faculty advisors for the Gender and Sexual Orientation Alliance, which we can all imagine what that means. It says, in an unearthed 2011 interview he gave to the New York Times Magazine, Vernaccio described his graphic lesson plans, which he said have raised concerns outside the school, rightfully so. So the teacher said his goal is to desensitize children to images of genitalia. My question is why? When they get to that age, they're going to become, comfortable with whoever they're comfortable with. You don't need to teach. Why do you need to teach them that? What benefit is that? And the way that he pushes out porn, fornication is that. Pornographos, pornography, which that means what? Writings of fornication. That's truly what that means. How that's pushed out in the music videos, in the media, in the movies. They're already desensitized to a lot of shit that they shouldn't be seeing. So what benefit is this? It says the Times reported the lessons that tend to raise eyebrows outside the school, according to Vernaccio, are a medical research video he shows of a woman ejaculating. Students are allowed to excuse themselves if they prefer not to watch, and a couple of dozens up-close photographs of vulvas and penises. The photos, Vernaccio said, are intended to show his charges the broad range of what's out there. Why do they need to know that? There's a difference in education, and teaching. All right, well, this is healthy, this is unhealthy. You need to be careful of this. This could lead to this. There's a disease called this. It can be prevented against by this. That's one thing. But showing them that is damn near pornography. Well, that is pornography. It's a writing, or it's a video, an image, or something they ought not to see. What benefit is that? It says it's really a process of desensitizing them to what real genitals look like, so they'll be less freaked out by their own and one day their partners, the teacher added, which I'm sure they can get comfortable with in their own time. When they get married, when they start dealing. What purpose is it to, from a young age, teach them that shit or show them that shit? It says 11th and 12th grade students were exposed to those lessons. Students had the option to opt out from viewing the nude images, and parents sign off on enrollments. The school said they stood firmly by their educator. It said Al Vernaccio is a nationally renowned and highly respected educator. It's disappointing that his work and our school are being miscast so thoroughly. Friends Central is committed to cultivating the intellectual, ethical, and spiritual promise of our students in a world that needs that more than ever, they said in a statement. Right, so why are you showing them all manner of whatever you're showing them? I'll get this scripture and then I'll pass it over to the brother. It says Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And let me just get this word for fornicator, which, if it is what I assume it is, will feed in nicely to this topic. Right, so Hebrews chapter 12 Hebrews 12, verse 16. The word for fornicator here. We'll get the Strong's G to play it. Play this.
Strong's G 4205. Parnas. Parnas.
Parnas. It says, a man who prostitutes his body to another's lust for hire, a male prostitute, a man who indulges in unlawful sexual intercourse, a fornicator. It says a fornicator 5 times a whoremonger. And you've got this. So that in the Greek sense, they were all about that. They had catamites. And this is nothing other than, grooming, really, to show a young person that for what purpose. No.
That's right. This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 8. They were children of fools, yes, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Okay. So these Edomites, these people, man, they're disgusting and repugnant. Okay. Everything that they do behind closed doors and things that they teach, things that they're about. All right. It's all disgusting. Okay. And Job put it perfectly. All right. Base, meaning bottom, lowly. All right. And if I get that from Etim Online, goes into bottom of anything considered as its support. Foundation, right? And their foundation is to do wickedness, right? Pedestal, from early 14th century, from Old French, base or bas. Depth, from Latin basis, foundation. From Greek basis, a step in a step. Down one which steps or stands. Pedestal, right? To go, walk, step, right? So everything they do is, is wickedness and unrighteousness.
And then we've got this word is balai sham or balia sham. It says wearing out, adverb of negation. It says without, no, not. When you go into that Hebrew there, it says of base men. This arrow is pointing that it's a phrase together. So that balia or balai sham, so of no name, people without a name, with no reputation, no fame. All right, so how Jake will say, "Oh, you ain't nobody. Who's this? Who are you?" They're of no name. They ain't nobody. The only reason they are anybody is because the Lord set them up to put them on high. That when He brings them down, the world and the earth may know the power of Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi. That's the only reason, just as He did to Pharaoh. Right, so He's showing you the wickedness, the perverse nature, and the school accepted it. There's there's a difference between teaching how you would a child, about the dangers out there, about how to stay safe, especially in this society with all the corruption and wickedness. And then there's encouraging them in that wickedness, and showing them stuff that they ought not to know.
That's right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty.
Mm-hmm.
And base things of the world and things which are despised has Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi chosen, yes, and things which are not, to bring to naught things that are.
Right, and right now we're in a base position. Although we're a people of name, we're a people that should have, authority, that should have respect and should be righteous. I say should be. Even we at this point, we're base, we're without name. And those that are really base are without name, have been set on top and been given a name. And that's why you see the society in the shambles that it is.
That's right. Things turning the things upside down. All right. That's why the world's out of order, because the wicked is ruling. Okay. And they're bringing forth unrighteous decrees, and, that's why, things are just out of order. Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Okay. So all these wicked laws and things that they put into, into schools, into, governments. All right. That's why, the people mourn, because the wicked are ruling. All right.
So it tells you that in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So when Yahawashi gets set up, the elect underneath him get set up, the people might be upset, due to the judgment. But ultimately, they're going to learn, well, this is the righteous way. This is the right way. And they will rejoice at some point. It says, Job chapter 9 and verse 24, it says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So if this isn't the devil, now show us where he is and who he is. If this isn't the physical manifestation of the devil, who is? Where are they doing these works? Actually, that's a Hellenistic, mindset as well, to show up naked bodies. You should be comfortable with this. Why should you be comfortable with some random person's genitalia? That is some Greco shit. That's how they used to train. And when you go into the gym, a gymnasium, you go back to that root. What does it say? It says literally to train naked. Right. So that is the culture of E. But we're not meant to take that on.
That's right. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
The reason what's fornication is illicit sexual behavior. Right, sexual behavior as outlined in the scriptures. A lot of people will say, well, sex before marriage is fornication. Well, no, sex is marriage. When you go into that, Genesis 24:67. Sex is marriage. That's how you consummate a marriage. That's right. But there's multiple guidances, there's multiple laws, statutes given that tell you, right, this is acceptable, this is unacceptable. But E, as a so-called Christian nation, as they at one point proclaimed and professed, is showing you don't believe in these scriptures. You didn't go by them at all.
That's right. And you can see it by, the way the teaching is in the school, all right, grooming these young, children, all right, socially engineering them to take heed of that.
And perpetuate the wickedness of this society.
That's right.
It's not sexual education, it's sexual propaganda. You should be comfortable with seeing all these random... What? I can't imagine there's too many Jake parents in that, because even as defiled and destroyed as we are as a people, we still have some level of natural morality within us, like it talks about Romans 2:14 in it. It talks about when the Gentiles which have not the law, they do certain things in the law, they're a law unto themselves, which should the conscience of the law written in their hearts. There's certain things that Jake just won't do. Jake is not going to go out and eat bloody meat out of choice. If he did, he's imagined, oh, go on, it's not that bad. Go on, lad. That's right. He's probably persuaded into it.
Right, peer pressure. Okay, learned behavior.
Right.
Things like that.
But naturally, we have an aversion to certain things like that.
Right. Just like, even though it's a bit off topic, just like we're not naturally atheists, people.
That's true. That's true.
Naturally spiritual.
Jacob going to, he'll be more of a Hindu than an Elamite. If he really believes that, he'll go into it. We're a spiritual people. Which when we execute it correctly, that's why I know who can come against the Israelites in these scriptures. Them that call themselves Israelites go into prophecy, who can come, and I'm not just talking GMS, I'm not just talking Sakari, but all these groups. There's topics that Christians can't touch us on. Why is that? Firstly, because we're the people of the book, but we're a spiritual people, we get all into it. You see Jake that falls into Islam, falls into the trap of Islam. He'll be more of an Arab than an Arab.
Reason being is that we have the oil, that's why.
That's it. The plantation Christian church is done out, But no one takes the church seriously as well. No one takes God seriously in the society. The idea of God. Now that's long gone. You couldn't get away with some shit like this in the classroom, even 20, 30 years ago. Never mind 50, 60. But that shows you the rapid degradation of this man's system. Even though he took on something that wasn't meant for him. Like it says, when thou say unto the wicked, what hast thou to declare my statutes, my covenants, take the covenant in your mouth. Even so, it's shown at least he had some level of morality. Now it's completely fading up. And it talked about the orientation, so we'll grab that Romans one there. Read up a few verses.
It's the book of Romans chapter 1 and verse 23. And change the glory of the uncorruptible power into an image made like to corruptible man.
And that's exactly what people worship. They say you are your own God. You know, you can't get... God is not... A lot of Pan-Africans say that God is not outside yourself. God, we are the God. Which there's truth in that. You know, the Israelite man, especially, is a God. You know, but it don't mean he's the Most High.
That's right. And to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. Verse 24. Wherefore Yahawah also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of God into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
And what's a natural use of a woman? To be popped by a man.
That's right.
And Eve is heavy into that shit. Now, if you were to do a survey, you know, most of these Eves are into that shit. Not most, maybe not. Maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but a lot of them are.
That's right, man. That whole funny man business.
And they take on a masculine spirit too.
That's been pushed heavily on the Israelite communities, man. Yeah.
By design.
Right, as a population.
Like you were saying, we're destroyed, we're without structure. So there's no, especially the church is sort of degraded. The black church is a fucking joke, man. What is it? A couple singing, couple dancing, couple choir boy.
And then 5-10 minute prayers.
And a couple pork chops to end it off. And you go home, you go about your business. You go sloot around in the streets. You know, the Jakes go in the streets for another purpose. Wicked sorcery. It's a fucking joke, man.
And I've noticed where there's more churches, there's more crime as well. Right? These are idols, these churches. Okay.
What was it saying there? Wisdom of Solomon 14 talks about how the idolatry is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. Yeah, because they call it chapels. And what did it say about in Maccabees? They had chapels of idols. So there's nothing new under the sun. It's just repackaged. They just use the scriptures as a front, as a prop.
That's right. This is a Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi.
Fundai?
No, I thought it did. So that's the one. No problem. Satan messing with it. Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of Yahawah, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is, neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workmaster. Okay. Verse 2. But deemed either fire or wind or the swift air or the circle of the stars or the violent water or the lights of heaven to be the gods which govern the world. Okay. So they'd rather give credit to you know, the creature and the creation, right, rather than to the Heavenly Father who made all these things. Okay. Whom, yeah, you can't see or hear, but the worship the creation rather than the Creator.
Also, they believe in air. I don't believe in the Lord because I can't see him, but I believe in air. This is Romans 1 and 25. We changed the truth of the Most High into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which was meet. And even as they did not retain the Most High in their knowledge, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who know in the judgment of the Most High that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. And if that isn't a perfect summary of what you see most of the people out here today, not necessarily all in the funny business, fornication, 100%, unrighteousness, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, envy, murder, debate, deceit, all of these. Now, this is like a guidebook, how to be a modern American 101, right? And the whole earth is patterned after that. They've all taken on the Babylonian wine.
That's right. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Okay. So, their philosophy is complete, wickedness and vain. Right, and that's what they push out. That's what they push out, as their wine, right, to these other nations, because it starts off in the school in their own nation, and then
they export it.
Exactly. And make everyone follow suit. It'll start off in the school, and then soon it'll be across more schools in that state, then in the country, then worldwide.
Just like a virus. But yeah, man, we'll probably call it there.
That's right. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's perverted, man. And that's completely weird. Right, so with that being said, Shalom, double honor to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well, laboring the word and doctrine. Kal halalyam la Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Racha Kudash. Shalom.
Shalom.